Hair's sticking up. I gotta trim it again. It's getting all long. This too. Nice warm day today. So I was gonna go out and do a nice musical tour on the Celebrity. Unfortunately, I hooked up the camera's power supply. As far as I know, I put the switch on the positive. That's what I don't know if you can see that or not. I put the switch on the positive, which is what I normally do. Plugged it in, turned it on, and my power supply went pop and blew out smoke. It done blowed up real good. So I don't know if I got the polarity reversed, because these things, I got a new one. These things do not have reverse polarity protection on them, because they don't need it. Because these sockets are supposed to be, you know, in your car, where reverse polarity is not going to be an issue. So, before I blow up another one, I'm going to test, because that's only 12 volts, it's not 24 volts. I've got it hooked up to one battery like I always do. It's not 24 volts, but I am going to test to make sure somehow, because the wiring system might be different on this scooter, I don't know. So I'm going to test that, and I'm going to cut my hot glue on there, and I'm going to sit the probes in there and test to make sure I had the polarity right. If not, I gotta change those around. Last time I did this, when this power supply quit working, I had to switch to this. I did a video on it when I hooked that up. I can look to see you know, what polarity I had on the battery, but you know, I would have to look for that, and I'm not ready for that at this very moment. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to test before I stick the new one in there. I think that's the same one. It looks like the same one. Came from the dollar store. It's like $4. So I will try and see what we got. So I was going to do a musical tour today, but obviously, you know, the camera is only going to record as long as the battery lasts. It was fully charged, so it probably got half hour. That beautiful day today, no sweater. So there are some things about the Celebrity I do not like. Number one, reverse sucks. There's very, very little power in reverse. I went down to the bolt launch, took my brake, and it didn't have the power to back up the hill. So I went as far as it would go, and then I turned, so I drive up instead of backing up. So that kind of sucks. And even when I got to my trail up the soccer fields, same thing, backing out of that parking spot. It barely wanted to go up that little hill. So reverse sucks on this thing. This mirror, I do not like. I'm going to see if I can put the ES950 mirrors on here, because the shaft itself I got to stay where, you know, it's supposed to. I got it tightened enough so it doesn't move, but this part here, it's worn out and it moves freely. If I hit a whole bunch of bumps, then it just goes where it wants. So I'm constantly adjusting it. And this front tire here has a bit of a wobble to it, and I think the ball joints are worn out, because if I'm going full speed on an open road, flat surface, then it's going bang, 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 bang. If I turn a little bit, it puts stress on things, and that stops. It's only when I'm going in a straight line where everything's just kind of, you know, there's no stress on anything, that's when it happens. I kind of remember that when I looked at it at first. It looks like, it's like a tube with a shaft sticking out, and the ball's inside that little tube. I don't have any of those to replace those with, and I'm not sure. I would have to order those, I guess, I suppose. I don't know how much those would cost, but for now, I'm not worried about it. It's like I said, it's just my backup scooter. I don't want to put a whole lot of money into this, but I do want it to work, right? So I can put up with that. But the worst part is, for some reason, this I noticed this yesterday. I don't know why that is doing that. Because where this goes in, there's this little plastic or rubber grommet, I guess you can call it. Well, when I was working on it, that grommet fell on the floor. I had no idea where it came from. Which is right here. I didn't have a clue what that was or where it came from. So, apparently it came from here. So why that's loose, I don't know. There's no screws in it, obviously. And yeah, that's a long way up for a little screw. It's got a long tube that goes all the way up and the screw at the top. So I might have to experiment with all those self-tapping screws that I bought and see if I can get something in there. Find a right size screw. I don't even know what size screw came out of there, because I haven't seen it. But I like it. I swear it's faster than the Monster. It's not comfortable. It's not... it doesn't have the comfort that the Monster has. I'll put it that way. Front suspension is nice. The rear suspension really sucks. Because I don't know... you might be able to see. I don't know. Oh. If I can zoom in on the other side, I can see it behind the wires there. I'm not sure what I can see because my eyes are blurry, but it's not going to focus on it. There's not enough light in there. No, it's not going to focus on it. But I don't know. Can I get closer to it? Oh, maybe you can see the one on this side. We just kind of zoom that back out. I can't tell what I can see here, my blurry eyes, but there's a little spring in there. It's just a tiny spring, right beside the tire. I don't know how well you can see it. There's the brightness from the tire. There we go. That's the rear suspension spring. It's about 4 inches long. It's really, it doesn't absorb much. It's really stiff. So, lack of comfort with that. I think that's it. I think that's all that I don't like about it. It would be nice if everything else worked. The signals don't work at all. They're controlled by the controller. They're timed, so you push the button and it'll flash for whatever amount of time. I was looking at I found a manual for it last night. I was looking through it. So the headlight, just the headlight, I turn it down, I think, and just the headlight comes on. If I turn it up, apparently there's a light in here, and all my marker lights or whatever come on. So it's double switch. Headlight works, that's it. That's the only thing that works as far as the lights go. Horns don't work. Horn buttons don't work. But the four-ways work. That's the important thing for me. Of all the lights, you know, to me that's the most important. That's the most attention getting. So other than that, I love it. It's super fast. It accelerates very fast, and it stops almost instantly. It just, yeah. If I played too much, I'll wear the back tires down really quick because they tend to slide when I hit the brakes. So I guess that's it. There's a 24-degree day coming up. That's shirts weather for me. So I will try again. I'm not sure if there's a chance of rain because it was raining this morning. So I come out a little bit late. It's like 2:30 now. Because I wanted to wait for the rain to go, because with everything open right now, I don't want to drive this in the rain. All the electronics are exposed. So, can't do that. But I have a solution for that. When I was making the last video, I was talking about, checking to see if I can make payments on the batteries. I'm thinking, well, I can do that with Amazon, right? So I got looking, and there's actually batteries specific for this scooter on Amazon. So, yeah, look, they're 35 amp hour, so they're a little bit smaller than the ES950's batteries, but that's adequate for this, right? And it was 200 and... I don't remember. Actually, I don't even think it was 200. Yeah, it was 202, I think 227, and it came with a $13 coupon. So basically $214. Yeah, $214 is the actual purchase price. That's for a set of 2. And I'm able to make payments on it, $44 for 6 months. So they'll be here tomorrow. Problem solved. And then I can take the Monster's batteries off. I can put them in the Monster when I need to test things without losing, the ability to use this in the meantime. And I'll be able to put the cover on. Everything's closed up. I can drive in the rain. I can whatever, right? So I'm happy about that. But right now my priority is to get this working. Because as you know, I do not like to drive this thing without a camera on it. So I will be doing that today. Well, actually right now. And we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I might look and see if I can find that other... If I can't figure this out right away, I'll look and see if I can find the video where I did it on Fortress. Where I hooked it all up. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be back. So I want to apologize for a couple of things. First of all, I keep forgetting to clean this lens off. So you're getting like dust dots all over the place. I don't know where that came from. Maybe I have it in this pouch that hangs from my fanny pack. Because without pockets, that's the only way I can carry it with me everywhere. And I saw it when I did the tree cleanup. When I was editing that video, I saw the dots, and I keep forgetting to clean it. So you're getting dots all over the place. Especially when there's dark areas, you can really see them. Or if there's light reflecting off of it. That's kind of crazy. So I apologize for that. I will try to remember to clean that today. And the other thing I'm going to apologize for is not showing you what I'm doing here. I don't have any camera equipment out with me out here. I had no plans yesterday of making a video out here. He showed up with the scooter as I was ready to go out to do a tour, and I basically worked on it when I got back, right? So I didn't have any kind of camera equipment out here with me other than this. And same thing today. I had no plans on doing this because I was just going to hook it up and go for a tour. So I don't have anything set up for that, so apologize for that. So this is all good now, I think. I hope. The power is on. I'm going to turn it off. So I tested it in the lighter socket, the end center port, pole, whatever is supposed to be positive, it was negative. So it is reversed. So why I put a switch on the negative wire, I have no idea. But I did. So that's what the problem was, reverse polarity. And these things don't have that kind of protection on them apparently. So I'm going to stick this one in and turn it on. I've changed them around already. So I can turn it on and see if this one goes boom too. So I'm going to record this. I got the new one in. It's not glued in place or anything, but it's there. I'm going to turn it on, and if anything funky happens, you'll get to watch it the same time as I do. Okay, turn the switch on now. And the blue light came on, which means it's got power. No explosion, no smoke. I guess I got it. So I'm gonna go out again. I feel like going out again. I'm gonna go in, take the stuff in that I picked up earlier, got the mail and that. And I have to get milk, so I gotta take this with me. Remember to take that with me. I'll grab that on my way home. I'm gonna do the same tour I just did, and now that I know the camera is working, going to be working, then maybe I'll go a little farther this time. Do a little bit more, because like I say, it's like 3 o'clock now. It's going to be, the nicest part of the day for me. And I'm just gonna leave my coffee here. I'm gonna grab a second one, so I can make a musical tour for you guys. Okay, so I just checked. Camera stayed recording the whole time. It's got power. Yay! So I'm going to show you. I talked about this. I never actually showed it to you. So those are the 4 ways. They both work. The indication on there. See, I've done 2 tours today and it's still reading full. The Monster's batteries on here. And the 4 ways on the front. Now I said that I was talking about the headlights. And what's cool is if I have this on, if I have the 4 ways on, I turn I turn Celebrity off. And when I turn it back on, the 4 ways automatically come back on because it's on its own separate on-off switch. So this is what I was talking about with the, I got raindrops on here. Talking about the headlights that I said that didn't seem to work. So if I switch down to the bottom, the headlight's on. And the one tail light, because remember I said this tail light wasn't working, so I got the headlight and the tail light. So if I look at the other way, the headlight does not come on, and there's no other lights on the front, but the tail lights will come on. So apparently I can drive with just the headlight and nothing else, which is kind of weird. So, or I can drive with the others. That's whatever I'm trying to say. So I didn't get to go as far as I wanted to. Oh. I don't know if you can hear it. That's thunder. So everything was fine. I was heading out of town there and I could see clouds off in the distance, so I decided to, when I got to my trail at the fallen tree there, I decided to look at the radar. This is what I saw. It's like, oh no. So I had to cut my tour short. I managed to do as much as I wanted to, but not as much as I planned. So shortly after I left there, it started raining. It never really rained hard. It's cold, but it wasn't a hard rain. Not to the point where I had to cover up my camera, so that was good. That was the biggest thing I was concerned about. So I stopped and got my milk, and I got home, and just as I was backing into the garage, I heard thunder. I was like, oh, good timing that way. So there was one more thing I was going to talk about. I forgot regarding the mirror here. Let me turn the screen around so I can see. I talked about the issue I had with the mirror. Well, there's another issue I forgot to talk about. It's magnified. So when I look in the mirror, I have very little landscape that I can see, because it's like it's zoomed in. I don't like that at all. I can't see a whole lot in the back. I think there's 3 things I was going to talk about. That was one. Another one is the battery meter. What I like about this is when I go up that long hill, I was down to probably right about here. And then when I got to the top, it started coming back up again. So that's a real-time view of what my batteries are doing. So that's kind of cool. Because it drops down like the Monster does, but the Monster never comes back. It stays down. So this actually comes back. It gives me an accurate, reading of what's happening with the batteries right now. I'm impressed with that. But there was one other thing I was going to talk about. Oh, that might have been it. So when I got to the boat launch, I was talking to my dealer, and the back part of the Monster, the part with the bolt that's seized into it, they don't stock that. It has to be ordered. So everything else is available. So what he's going to do is he's going to do 2 orders. So everything else will be shipped right away. Well, once ODSB approves it, and then whenever the other piece comes in, then they'll go that way. So it'll be 2 separate shipments. I'll have to pay shipping twice, but that's okay. I don't mind that. But like I said to him, he asked me if I wanted to wait for the other one to come in whenever their next shipment is. He didn't specify how long, or just send what's available now and the other one when it comes in. I said, well, I'm starting with the front anyways, and the front suspension's the most important right now because that's where all the issues are. So I said, well, just send what we got now. And I'm in no rush to get that back for it. I can drive the Monster without that, right? So that's what we're going to do. So I will get the first shipment with what's available, and I can start working on the front end, because that's what I'm waiting for right now. I'm waiting for those front end suspension parts. Yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. And I asked him about this. He likes the Pride scooters. He says he said people have them last like 15 years, so without any major problems. So that's good. That's good to know. Because I told him, I like it. It's scary fast. He kind of laughed. So, but that's good. So I will make a musical video out of today. Even though I didn't get to go as far as, I had hoped. But, I did what I expected. At least what I expected anyway. So, I'm happy that way. I will make a musical tour. And I'll make that a separate video. I'll do that in the next video. So, I guess that's all I got. I gotta gather up all my stuff here and head on in. And hope I don't get too wet from here to the door. Been a fun day.